if this is all working here. Hold on 1 second. Ah, fuck. No, it didn't go. Okay, maybe it is going. Hold on, let's see. Let me see if we're actually feeding out there to the people. Hold on.
I don't see nothing yet.
No, I gotta hit a button here. Let me see if that does it. All right, so I have no clue of whether or not we are streaming out there to the folks.
Something
I have
started.
zero ideas of whether or not we're doing it. So I'm gonna probably wait here like a minute or two before people.
You're live.
We're there.
confirm.
We're there.
Okay, oh, I figured it out. What a miracle! Hank Strange is a genius.
You?
Hank Strange. Look.
Nobody told you to put that mask on, Patrick.
You didn't figure shit out. I went and found the stream key for you.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So, due to my genius, you are watching the Who Moved My Freedom podcast live on Utreon. You're watching us live on Utreon so we can hold shooters, guns, shooters, not hooters. But you can also have hooters and shooters, I guess, depending on how you want to do it. There you go. Babyface is rocking a SIG. I think, yeah, looks like a SIG. Hold
on. Show my focus.
Oh, hold on. It's not so. Okay, yeah. Your thing refuses to There you go. Right there. There you got it. There you go. You got it.
It's missing something.
Oh, it's spooky. Walter, what you got? Oh, now Walter's got to put on. Oh, jeez. No one told me today was gas mask day with you two.
This one here, this one here, I bought.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it the Creek one year actually, and the filter's still in the spam can. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good.
So, yeah,
all right.
I reckon.
So listen. So we are live. You're joining us live on Utreon. Like I said, we can hold guns. We do this live from Utreon/Who Moved My Freedom. If you guys want to join us over there, then later on we put it up on YouTube. We were on YouTube sometime last week, just to remind folks that we're over here. And if you're listening to this on iTunes or wherever else you get your audio podcast from, you want to join us live, come over to Utreon, hang out in the show. There's a bunch of people there. Usually I have it more figured out than I do today. Shout out to everyone who's out there. That being said, I got the dudes in here. It's FreeForAll Monday. I think you guys
Nothing
are ready.
happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys are ready to go, I assume. I'm going to hit the button and we're going to do this, right? I think my audio's feeding through. I'm just making sure. Okay, let's go.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US-made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not-so-free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. Yeah, you guys don't know what I have to put up with these two knuckleheads. So now,
Hundo P, Walter. 100 doll hairs. One Walter buck right there. Look at that.
Yeah. Now you.
I don't know. I just can't get all. Does it smell like somebody else's head?
No, it smells like it's been sitting in a warehouse for like 10 years.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just been sitting in like a SWAT.
Yeah.
Probably like a SWAT team got rid of them or something.
Eventually, all the cooties die. There's a certain amount of time when the cooties deteriorate, I guess. But there you go. So welcome back to the show, guys. Let me see. I've got a bunch of things to do here. Okay, jazz hands. We got to get jazz hands going. There you go. Jazz hands, everybody. There you go. I hope you guys have your big girl's panties on. Or your big girl panties on.
You have your big girl's panties on.
Whatever. However you got to do it.
My big girl wears her own panties. I don't wear her panties. Now, come on.
Yes, this is episode 978 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Man, damn it.
Hard night over there, aren't you?
I am messed up today. It's FreeForAll Monday. The title of it is We're Living in Idiocracy times. Yes, Idiocracy times. I don't have time for people like Walter J. Keller who never watched Idiocracy. We're living it now, so forget about watching it. Everything
I don't
happening
have-
now is that.
See, I'm
So-
better off because I don't know all that silliness. See,
Yeah.
I don't base my existence on some I'll be nice. Some screenwriters drug
dream?
inflicted thoughts.
Some predictions, some prophecies that have all come
Yeah.
true. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. My guests are Babyface P. There he goes, right there. Patrick, Babyface P. Of course, showing off some kit that he's got.
You know what I was gonna do, which Walter would have liked even more.
You're gonna shoot it?
No, God, no! It's $100. I ain't shooting
Wait! I thought
Oh,
you
come
agreed to buy one that we could shoot. I'm pretty sure this was in our conversation.
that. You give me some van bucks and I'll do it. I think this needs to go under the helmet, Walter.
Oh boy, then you're gonna look like that guy from the
You know-
last Batman movie.
I got one of those. I bought some of those one time, but the straps are made for some little munchkin.
That's where this came from. This is one that you.
Oh, the one I
gave
get
me,
you
think?
gave? Oh, okay, yeah. The head straps are made for a
Yeah, they're made
fidget.
for a tiny little head.
Yeah, and you can't do nothing.
How's it fitting on Patrick's head then?
So you gotta
not.
you gotta unclick it from the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then your face goes in, and then it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but it kind of fits over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I mean, if it
totally
was-
look like a psycho that sits on top of a hole and it puts its lotion
If
on
it
its
was-
skin.
If it was frickin' freezing ass cold outside, it'd be nice, but.
Oh Lord.
There you go.
Yeah.
How you
Okay.
doing?
Right.
Oh, you a pretty milk?
You look way better.
You undo the flap, so there's a flap here. I
Boy,
think.
oh Lord. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm guessing Marley hasn't made it back yet tonight.
She's feeding the baby right now,
Oh, okay.
which is why I'm doing this nonsense.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
So also joining us live here is Walter J. Keller. Oh, no, what are you? Walter W. Keller, that means nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a W, just a letter. Walter
Oh.
W.
Oh, you got one too already.
Yeah, this is the standard issue kind of thing, I guess.
That's all these are.
Ballistic helmets. Yeah, I bought
Yeah,
this
so
at
you
Mount
already
Creek
have
from
some.
somebody. Yeah, I mean, I did it one time just for grins. I don't know why.
I think we need
That's-
to. I think
that's
we
what I
need to
did.
shoot those. I think someone needs to volunteer up there.
You ain't shooting my
Oh,
money.
man.
on.
Yeah.
I ain't shooting mine either. You got $100 hairs. I'll give it
Ain't
to
gonna
you.
work.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well,
Can't hear
I don't
me,
know.
so
Maybe
talk
we'll
about me.
we'll arrange something.
Oh, yeah, look at that. There you go.
Let's see here. Boom.
You take
Listen.
a 9 mil to the dome now.
Yeah, shout out to everyone out there, okay? I'm going to go, let's see who's in there. Shout out to everyone who joins us on Utreon. I really appreciate you guys. I don't know if Walter and Patrick realize this. We actually get more people viewing us live when we do the live side of the podcast on Utreon than we do on YouTube because we're shadow banned
Really?
on YouTube, yes.
That is
And
surprising.
and that's why we're not over there. Even the other day when we went live with a mega star like Black Rambo, I think we got maybe 300 views so far. Not even just when we were live, but when we go live here, we get like 1,000 views. You know, so yeah, not bad. It's tough work. I know there's a lot of folks out there who don't want to come over to doing this stuff on Utreon. I understand it's all about the numbers. I get it. But I applaud everyone who's out there hanging
Well,
out with us, making this happen.
I don't get that because they don't have to leave YouTube.
Right,
You
they
know.
don't have to leave YouTube, but it's a little bit of extra work to come over and join us live.
I mean, I don't. I mean, if you're going to do it solely on Utreon, I guess. But I mean, if you're still on YouTube, like my stuff will link to Utreon on YouTube, goes right to Utreon. So what?
Yeah, and we put this up on YouTube later, and there are people who watch it there. But listen, people can do what they want to do. We can do what we want to do. We're doing this for the culture, and we're trying to be able to represent the people without the limitations. Show what like real gun guys do and what we're about, what we talk about, how stupid we are sometimes. That's just the way that it goes. So anyway, shout out to 42 Chilled out there, DCG 44s as well. I see DCG 44s out there, Asper Warriors out there, also Jade Guru. Come out and play. Come out and play says, does live chat not exist in the app? I don't know. I'm not sure about Android. But...
this was something we talked about the CEO. It exists in the Android app, but not yet on the iOS app, I think is what they told us.
Yes.
I think. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what they said. So, and then JCP90 says Walter's EDC is high point. Who knows what? What is your... if I had to EDC, if somebody said here's a high point, this is all you get, I can make it work.
Yeah, we'll live.
I could just tie a hunk of damn paracord on this thing and wrap it over my shoulder. That's my everyday carry, bitch.
Yeah,
like a carbine, sling it.
I mean, to be honest with you, I challenge any of these fancy holster carrying folks that do it. Come out and work in a work environment. You sweat and work all day, and see how long you wear that holster all day long.
Yeah. Shout out to. I wear a holster all day long. I home carry and everything.
You don't do what?
Right.
Work, physical labor. Wow. No. In the 90-degree heat, you won't.
I believe I work very hard.
Work.
Well, you
work.
Okay.
I'm not digging trenches. Thank you, sweet black baby Jesus.
I don't do that either. But the idea is crawling up on top of the milling machine, crawling down off the milling machine, crawling up on the milling machine, sweating, doing stuff, and it's just like not,
It's not easy.
First thing I do when I get to shop most days is take everything out of my pockets.
Yeah. It's not easy to have all. So Lola always gets mad at me because I have all the stuff in my pockets, and then when we go, my pockets are at least an extra 5 to 10 pounds at any given moment.
I got all the stuff in my pockets. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then when we're doing videos, like let's say I'm crawling around vans or something like that, she's like, your gun is showing. And it's all up in the video.
Okay, I always give the okay, and
but yeah, there you go. Listen, Gen Champ Jr. is out there. Edward Andrews is out there as well. Shout out to him. And anyone else, if anyone else needs a shout out, I think Asper Warrior says strap on the nods, and we're seeing what Marley saw at the genesis of Chrome Vandium.
If only. She's never let me do that. Maybe one day.
Yeah, that's Patrick's. That's how.
What are you talking about, Trigger?
That's how the next one comes into the world.
Yeah, maybe.
One of those nights. Patrick is what the hell do you drink? Like vodka? What do you?
I'm a whiskey drinker. Excuse you.
Oh Lord. Yeah, he's a whiskey dude. Yeah. So he gets a little bit of whiskey, man, in him. Throws on that gimp mask and the
I haven't been drinking in a while because I had a rough. So having a baby and having a hangover on the same day was a bad thing. So I haven't been doing a whole lot of drinking lately.
Right. Yeah. By the way, so Dan Hates You is also out there. Shout out to Dan Hates You. He says, I go mountain biking with a t-shirt, holster, and a Kel-Tec. I get drenched in sweat. So what? Yeah. But listen, it is a pain. It's like a real commitment that you have to get into. And then when you have no acetol like me, and so belts don't really work, like someone was telling me I need to switch over to, what is it, suspenders? Yeah, suspenders, I guess. Because I can make my belt as tight as I want to make it. My hips basically go straight down like this. I don't have like the little, I guess you're supposed to have, like a dude's supposed to have like a hip coming out a little bit.
You can say the word is called shape. You don't have any shape.
I don't think dudes are supposed to have any shape, but okay, whatever.
Oh, yes, you are.
So yeah, it's really tough, man. Like I can make a belt as tight as I want it to be. It really doesn't help. But listen, you got to do what you got to do out there. So listen, go ahead, Walt. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I just don't like to have the belt so tight. I feel like keep my 5 pounds of wallet and
it's
gun.
tough, man. Yeah,
5 pounds of girth.
keys and all that bullshit.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to figure out as a dude. Like, also, Lola hates it. Like, do you guys ever do the jangly movement with your boys? Like, jangle the boys to get the boys back into shape?
if they're a little sticky, of course. You can't let them just stick to themselves.
Lola gets so mad at me. She's like,
disgusting. What do you think?
Why the hell are you doing that? Yeah, I was like, because my boys, they need to be rearranged a little bit. That's my stealth. She's like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, this is my stealth move.
It's a course correction.
Wrong with that.
Yeah. It's kind of like when, women with boobies have to, like, fix their boobies every now and then, Yeah.
No, they gotta.
The ladies, yeah. Dan Hates You says Sportsman Guide has suspenders. Use code Hank20. Which is probably our code. I don't even know. That's probably the code for Sportsman's Guide, yeah. When I start wearing suspenders, the world is truly doomed. It's just, I don't know. The world is, it's over at that point. Okay, listen, we got a lot of things to cover. It's a free-for-all Monday. I don't know if you guys want to break with tradition, so I'm just going to go ask both of you what you want to talk about first. Lots of shit happening in Florida, in America, in our world as gun guys. What do you guys want to touch on?
Anything?
Patrick,
I don't got nothing.
Here. We got, Florida, the governor signed,
signed
constitutional concealed,
constitutional
permitless carry.
Yeah.
Let's get it right.
Carry.
Don't make it something it's not.
I think it's a great thing.
It's good, but why does it take till July?
Politics.
Wait, it doesn't take effect until July?
July. Do you know how many people are getting nabbed in the meantime?
Yeah, a lot.
This is the one that Patrick sent. DeSantis signs Florida's permitless carry bill into law. On Monday, Governor Ron DeSantis signed Florida's permitless carry bill into law. This allows guns to be carried almost anywhere without a permit. Guns will still be prohibited in airports, courthouses, and other government buildings. Concealed carry permits would no longer be required after July 1st. This doesn't change you into James Bond with a license to kill, said Casey Baker, owner of A.W. Peterson Gun Shop in Mount Dora and former state lawmaker.
Why do people open their mouths like that? First thing, it's all the same rules as you do when you have a permit. You can't take it in all the same places. It's nothing's changed in that respect, except for the fact now, if you don't have a permit, you got to wait 3 days. Boom.
So I thought you had to wait.
You had to do that anyways if you didn't have a permit. But
so there are still benefits to
having
getting your permit. 100%.
There's a lot of benefits to having CCW. Go ahead, Walt.
Yes.
Traveling to another state that honors our stuff. That kind
so
of
does
thing.
permitless carry, and I haven't looked at every single thing going on because, to be honest with you, there's a ridiculous amount of stuff happening. I have looked through it. But does this just cover firearms, or does it cover, like the CCW does, other weapons and things like that you can carry?
I believe they basically rewrote the CCW stuff out and said you no longer need it. So it should cover everything.
Yes. And one of the things I would say to folks out there, I don't know why it's July 1st and all that kind of stuff. Maybe they got to lock up a few people before that.
That's weird.
Or just maybe that's just the way our Constitution's written here in Florida, that laws go into effect. I don't know. But, I think that it is... I'm happy that we're moving in this direction, right? This is one of the things that DeSantis called for, pushed our state reps here to make happen after I think they did a lot of bad stuff in terms of they did gun control over the last years here in Florida. They haven't really reversed that. We still have all that gun control they put into effect. This is obviously a political thing, a good thing, I think, and we're moving in the right direction. It's not perfect or what I'm looking for. At the same time, I would say folks out there, you need to, it's on you. It's your responsibility to be aware of what you're doing if you're getting into firearms. So if you have no experience, I know training is a bad word for some people, but if you have no experience, you need to be careful regardless. Now, whether you have permitless, all this kind of stuff, there's going to be people who get their hands on guns, and there's going to be people who do bad things. That's always the responsibility of the people or the parents of the people in the case of children and stuff like that. So, that's my opinion. Go for it.
It really doesn't change a lot for a lot of people, because a lot of people carry without any permits and always have, and you know, so it's like, oh my God, anybody can carry. I got news for you. People do it all. Thousands of people do it every day without any damn permit.
And Florida, yeah, I mean, this is Florida, but also, you know, you're allowed to have firearms obviously on your property, in your business, in your car, on your boat. I mean, you don't have to have necessarily. You don't have to have a permit for that to have firearms in those situations, right? I think it's if you're out because there is no open carry in Florida, and there still isn't open carry in Florida. So
that's thanks to Janet Reno.
Yeah, but you can open carry on your property, place of business, boats,
sure,
all that kind of stuff.
When you're out hunting and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, you can have firearms in your car, in your boat, in your house, in your business. So, you know, I think this is a good thing. I'm just saying, like, obviously, because I know I was having discussions with people.
It's the right direction. It's the step in the right direction.
Yeah. You know,
unfortunately, they didn't pass the letting the under 21 folks have their guns again. That didn't happen, that's the bad part, right? To me, that's worse than the permitless carry garbage.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Because you're
yeah.
Oh, really?
But that it is.
Really?
The thing is that they don't want to reverse what they did, right?
Well, they just did. We just did reverse something.
But yeah, they won't continue.
My friend, we just reversed something with permitless carry.
Yeah, but the gun control that went into effect right after Parkland, we haven't gotten rid of that. We still have all that bullshit in there. Mm-hmm. We still have that. That's still law. And that's part of what you're saying. Yeah.
It takes time. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I mean, this took time. This took a lot of people, you know, sending emails and calling and bitching and moaning, you know, because a lot of these limp-wristed Republicans we have are so scared of their shadow. That's a fact too. Don't laugh about that shit.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, they're so scared of their shadow, like somebody's going to talk bad about them, that they don't do anything. So.
Yeah. What is this? DCG says, read the post about driving past a school above. Important info. I guess that's in here. I'm not able to click it open to share with everyone.
Oh, they have all kinds of goofy fucking stuff about schools and.
Yeah,
you know,
if you want to put it in the Discord or something, I'll open it and read that specific thing. Yeah.
How can you? There's thousands of guns within 1,000 feet of schools because people live in houses right across the street from the schools. So it's silly shit. That doesn't protect anybody. 1,000-foot gun rules and all that garbage. It doesn't stop anybody from doing anything. So
yeah, let me see if I can break out this AmmoLand. Yeah, so I see the headline that 42 Chilled is putting up says this is from AmmoLand. Judge says law restricting carry permits for 18 to 20-year-olds on. Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms. Yeah. Listen, the politicians, the rhinos here in Florida, the Republicans that run and control everything that we've been talking about for a long time have a long way to go. I think, didn't Texas already, was it Texas that threw over that 18 to 21 thing? Somewhere already called it unconstitutional and threw it out. We were talking about that when it happened. So definitely here in Florida, we have that issue and many others. There's other stupid laws that these guys put into effect that we got to deal with. So, You know, you've got the thing about changing, you know, whatever the stupid law is, you can't modify your trigger.
Right? Actually, yeah, but Richard Hughes was bringing up something. I was watching him on Crump's thing the other day. If you assemble an unassembled receiver, you can put your binary trigger in it because you're not modifying the existing.
You're building it.
You're not modifying an existing.
Yeah, there is some theory, and listen to what I'm saying. I'm putting air quotes on this. There are some theories about that if a manufacturer does that, right, that's the gun not being modified, you know, after the manufacturer did it, and I believe that. But still, we're talking about a bullshit ass law. Yeah, but we're still talking about a bullshit ass law.
Yes.
You know, and there's more others like that in there that we have to deal with. I think what happened here is these guys push this thing through because they wanted to give a victory to DeSantis so they can help clear the path for him to run for president. You know,
no, not DeSantis. Oh, you mean the recent thing today? Yes, yesterday's thing. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Scott. Rick Scott.
No, Scott did all of that because he wanted to be a senator, which he is now, and lots of people voted for him. You know, regardless of the fact of what he did. But remember, it's all the same players that we're talking about here that put this bill forward, and they did it their way, right? And so we have this thing here. I'm not mad about it. I'll take it. I'll take the W, as you is that what you sports guys say? Huh?
Inch by inch.
No, that's what I said. I'm taking it. I'm happy with it.
Foot by foot, inch by inch.
Yeah. So good thing. I think it's a good thing. We got to keep moving in the right direction. We got to pay attention to what these guys are doing. We need better representatives and leaders, including here in Florida. You know, because there's just still a lot of bullshit going on. But hey, you know, it's a thing that everyone's working on, and so it's in motion. You know, the funny thing about this, before we go into something else, last week sometime, Lola was driving to work. She listens to the radio, local radio in Gainesville, and she said that those guys, I forgot the radio station. It's got what the hell is the name of the guys? See, I know them. I've even been on their show, but I can't.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
is it Bob Rose?
They do the morning Bob Rose. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Rose had Luis Valdez on. You know, and Lola said she was listening to it. Basically, Luis, which is awesome, did the same thing that he does when he comes here. Luis just steamrolled through everything and broke down for it. Because, you know, like, I'm not actually a big fan of radio, because radio, in 10 minutes, you get 8 minutes of commercials and 2 minutes of talking. But Lola said, "Oh, Luis Valdez, he's just going right through. he's giving up all the information." So that's awesome. Congratulations to him. You know, he's been out there doing a lot of hard work on behalf of Gun Owners of America, and there's a lot of other people too. So it's a good thing. Yeah, I'm happy about it, but you know, don't fall for the okie doke either. You know,
no.
Follow the politics. Somebody's trying to be president.
Because they'll try to flip this right back like it was as soon as you stop watching.
Yeah. So what other things are happening? Let's see. What do you guys want to talk about? I want to see what folks want to talk about in the chat. You can still tell us now what you want to get into. Anyone want to cover the thing with Trump? Anybody care what's going on with Trump following?
I don't even know what's going on, so I can't give you anything interesting to say.
Yeah, me neither, really. So
he flew from Mar-a-Lago. Now Trump is like OJ, except instead of a white Bronco on the highway, they're following Trump. Like, they followed him leaving Mar-a-Lago in his motorcade to going to his private jet and then flying over to New York City. There were boats in New York City, like, because JFK comes in on the water. I think all the airports are on the water over there. That's my recollection. And so there's footage of him going from Florida all the way out to New York landing and then driving through the city and going to Trump Tower. And then I guess tomorrow he's turning himself in on these bullshit charges. So, and tomorrow I guess is supposed to be a spectacle. You know, I can't say to people that I'm not looking at it, because I'm always aware of things that are going on, but I'm kind of in limbo on this, and it's the reason why I titled this like Idiocracy, because I feel like now we're permanently in a circus. That's my feeling. Like politics, all the stuff going on in the country, it's permanently a circus now. No one's paying attention unless you're just doing batshit crazy stuff.
It sort of feels that way.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of us are tuning out, because we don't live our lives like that every day.
It doesn't, none of it matters to me either. Because I personally have an idea of how the playbook is going to run. I think if it even ends up going to some sort of jury trial, it's going to be, they're not going to convict him because he didn't do anything illegal, as far as I can tell. Paying somebody hush money, unless the person was doing something illegal in the first place, I don't think paying somebody hush money is illegal. It might be immoral, but is it illegal? I don't know.
Paying someone hush money, someone who is
hey,
an
I
adult,
slept with you. Here's $50 so you don't go telling my girlfriend. Like, that's not illegal.
That's the world.
Well,
that's just
also,
the way it works.
No, but also this. It is illegal to blackmail someone, but something done through lawyers is not illegal. So
I don't think that's what happened, though.
Well, I think she was blackmailing Trump, but Trump did all of this through his lawyers at the time. So whatever happened went through lawyers, right?
I don't think any of this was illegal per se. I think it eventually is just going to get thrown out. Honestly, the photo ops are going to be better for him than... I think they screwed the pooch a little bit, because I do think that the photo ops of these sorts of things are going to be a boon for him, not a bust. I think he's going to be able to run on, they're still persecuting me. If they persecute me, imagine what they'll do to you, and it'll be a
in the last 48 hours, in the last 50-something hours, I think Trump's raised $7 million for his campaign. So it's not hurting him. But, there's a famous saying in New York, right, that you can indict a ham sandwich.
Yeah,
and,
I've heard that
Trump
before,
is a big ham sandwich that got indicted. And then we'll officially get indicted tomorrow. And yes, I think that it is a boom for him. His ratings are on top and all of that. And then there's people strategizing like, oh, well, they're doing this because they think if they get Trump on the GOP side that they could beat Trump. And, they don't want to go up against DeSantis, who's like, DeSantis is a legit candidate that's going to be very tough to beat. Even if you're a Democrat, it's really tough to go up against a guy who is very intelligent, went to Harvard, Yale, served in the military, was a lawyer.
A veteran.
Yeah,
he
was a really good governor.
He has an attractive wife. He has 2 little kids. He's
a regular dude. He's a good dude out there, working hard. And like, what are you going to attack DeSantis on?
He hasn't been to Fantasy Island. He hasn't.
As far as we know, correct.
Yeah. So no one wants DeSantis. That's the theory. Go ahead, Walt. Sorry.
Give it a little time, and he'll be a racist. He'll be this.
Oh yeah, they'll find something.
He'll be, because he went to Harvard. He was one of the chosen ones. Was he in a sorority? Was he in a sorority?
Fraternity.
When he was there, was he like in the George
if he was in a sorority, he's definitely going to win. If he transmutated from a chick to a dude, he's in.
One of those clubs. A club,
yeah, right.
A club, it'll all come out. Trust me. If he winked at somebody before, it's going to come out.
For sure. Yeah.
That's what everybody craves, that trash. They sit and wait for the trash TV to fire up, so they can sit and watch it all day long, and they can look at it on their phone. What they say? Look at that! Look what he did. He looked at a dog cross-eyed. It's like, come on. He calls somebody's chihuahua bad. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's like with Trump. Come on, they've tried everything with Trump. They've tried everything.
I think that at the end of the day, I was looking at something that said, in order for the folks in the media, the traditional media that we have here in America, which is dominated by the left, in order for them to actually get any kind of viewings, ratings, and make any kind of money, they have to talk about Trump.
They do. No, it's true.
Yeah, but they don't. But they don't understand that. That's like when they did that during the other election. It was like every time they did that, his rating goes higher.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, but they don't give a shit. That's why I say it's a circus. We're living in a circus. They're willing to risk it. Because you guys really believe that on the left they don't have a better candidate than Biden or Kamala Harris?
Well,
I mean, I know they're horrible.
Tell me one then. Give me one.
I don't follow those assholes.
Tell me,
I don't know.
and then likewise, okay, DeSantis is probably a good candidate, but and I thank God that he separated himself from Trump.
Right.
You know that for a while there was going to be that
move.
Trump DeSantis. The Trumpers wanted DeSantis to get in his pants.
DeSantis should never do that. Never do that.
And I'm like, stay the fuck away from Trump. Yeah. He's going to drag you down a hole you can't crawl back out of. You know, and it's like.
For a while now, I'm glad that let me put it this way. I do not regret having voted for Trump. But if you guys, if we go back to when NRA declared him their guy, I was complaining about that. But in the end, hey, I voted for Trump. Trump was president. I voted for him both times. But I don't want to see Trump do this again. I would like to see Trump just go off and celebrate his victories.
I wouldn't mind Trump being an Obama, being a because Obama now sits back and
elderly statesman.
No, he's a play caller for the Democratic Party.
Okay.
But the problem is the Democrats are willing to bow down to him completely, where Republicans 60% don't like
Republicans
Trump
hate Trump as well, so they won't take their marching orders from Trump.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they should either. I'm going to be honest about it. Do you really want to? Would you take your marching orders from Trump? And I like him personally, but I think we need to. There's things happening in America that if we keep going just this circus routine, just like everything that bleeds leads, that we're going to fuck up the country. And I worry for my children. Okay? Well, I worry for my children if we keep going this route, and that's what it's all about. So for me, I think Trump had his time. He was president. He did his thing. Yes, they keep going after him. I get it, for sure. But I would like to just see Trump, phase into doing something else and, and let us try to, move on with the country and actually fix things. Because at the end of the day, I think his administration was very poorly run, and ultimately that falls on him.
I think his administration was poorly run, yes, and I think he surrounded himself by, what would you even call them? Ne'er-do-wells that didn't have the country's best interest. That's typical political types that had their own interest.
Yeah, a bunch of B-listers who want to be stars and want to have reality shows and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it really didn't go. There were some really good people in there as well, I think. But for the most part, a lot
McEnany, I think, was a great addition to the camp.
Yeah.
Kayleigh McEnany, the spokesperson, I think she was awesome. Mm-hmm. But yeah, now there were so many.
Raggedy, the rag doll that's up there right now, the talking head, looks like Raggedy.
Yeah.
Well, no, they got the black woman now, and she's even.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Oh God, yeah, she is fucking useless. It's amazing how all they do is. It just lie 24/7.
Yeah, listen. I think that I forgot her name, the woman that's press secretary right now, but she is a joke.
Did you see your people, Hank, getting on to the press secretary the other day?
Oh, the African dude.
African guy. He was like, "I'm done with this shit."
Yeah.
You haven't called on me in 6 months.
I would like to be called on. You have ignored my calls. You have ignored my questions. And this is just not right.
Yeah, he was going. And they were
no, I'm with that dude. I'm with that dude.
Shut up, and he's like, "No, you shut up."
Yeah, the other people in the press, they should be ashamed of themselves. How can they call themselves the press? But what am I saying to you guys today? I feel like this is everything that we are seeing out there. Like we're not fucking around, right? We've got family, we've got businesses, we've got people who rely on us, right? We've got responsibilities, but everybody else is fucking around. That's my problem. From like Trump all the way up and down, the people in the news media, politicians, folks in the people in the FBI. Look at the amount of fuckery that's going on in the FBI. Like we were supposed to be able to rely on the FBI, man.
The FBI has been corrupt since it started, though. People don't realize that.
It's gotten really bad.
It was a piece of shit, corrupt organization back then.
Yeah.
It's never been a good organization. The FBI has never been a solid organization. Maybe in the 80s, something. I don't know, but...
Oh, you're talking about recent history, Patrick. Come on.
I just think there's a lot of terrible stuff going on, and we're going to pay the price for this. You know, maybe people who are 70, 80 years old.
I already paid my price, and it was $100 for a helmet. It's got a night vision mount. Kevlar, It's ready to go.
Walt, you said we already are?
Yep.
I think that it's going to be a worse price as time goes on. I'll tell you why. You know, the baby boomers, right? The folks in my parents' generation that were born after World War II. A lot of those folks, we're in height of wealth right now. That's the reason why the politicians are getting away with this shit. Americans are still comfortable with $3.50 a gallon gas and all the bullshit going on in the world. Americans are still comfortable and they're getting away with it. And the baby boomers who are still alive, my mom's gone, right? So, and a lot of people are in that same situation. We're burying our parents right now, unfortunately, right? So those guys, they're at the height of that, right? They're retired. They've got this money. They're living it up for the most part. I know some of them are suffering. They're enjoying. But let me tell you, when we get there, when our kids get there, it's going to be bad. If you think this is bad now, it's going to be bad because we are fucking up a lot of shit in this country that we will not be able to come back from. Okay? What the dollar is going to be, I always tell people this, I'm sorry because I'm a little bit fired up about this. I remember living in Nigeria in the 80s, and Nigeria supplying oil to America, which it still does, about 20% of the oil that comes here in the barrel, right, to America, comes from Nigeria. And Nigeria, 1 naira in Nigeria is worth $2. Today, it takes, I don't know, I'd have to go look it up. It takes hundreds of naira to become $1. That's inflation. And we are that's what our money is going to look like 20, 30 years from now. It's going to look like shit. No one's going to care about the money that we have because of what we're doing here.
I agree with that.
But we're not really feeling that yet. Sorry, go ahead.
It's not only the money though.
I agree. It's a lot of things.
And I'm not touting, the moral stuff, but it's the whole slow down everything's good, everybody's good, everybody can be what they want to be. Here we go, right down the drain, just like, if you had the best money in the world and everybody was a deviant, it doesn't make any difference. So, or those attitudes are allowed. Like, come on, let me see, transgender shooter in a church.
Did y'all, in the last minute, did you guys, I don't think I sent the article, did you guys see the transgendered Canadian powerlifter who just broke women's record by 100 pounds?
All the women.
The dude was beefcake with a beard and all of that. Not even pretending to be a chick.
He did it on purpose because in Canada they can't tell you no.
Yeah.
He was.
Okay. I hate to say it, Idiocracy. We're living in a circus. Everything is a circus now.
All the women should just leave the competition.
He showed up. He's the coach of the men's Canadian powerlifting team, and he showed up and said, because there's a tranny that was running, that was beating all the women. He showed up and was like, "I'm a woman today. I want to compete on the women's league." Yeah, I'll kick
your ass too. Yeah.
And Canada had to say yes to him, and he was like, "Okay, 100 pounds."
We'll be right back. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point. All right. Now, sorry, Patrick. I know you got cut off by that.
No, I'm done. I said my piece.
and if you're going to call a gun an AR-15, let's make sure it's not a Kel-Tec, you know what.
Okay, so a couple of things I want to say.
And that subject, there was also, I saw some stuff about shoes that changed in pictures. And I don't know if that was just
well, let's realize that this latest shooter got dressed up. First of all, it was, I believe, a woman that transitioned to becoming a man. One.
Yeah, it was a woman.
I think there's confusion out there about that. Two, dressed up deliberately like put on hunting apparel and everything, and a red hat, and went out and did this horrible thing to people who never did anything to her, right? Never tried to hurt her or anything like that. Just to make a specific point because they wanted to destroy themselves. You know, so that's what we're looking at with that. Now, two, along those lines, and we were just talking about the Biden administration and the press secretary, when all of this happens, that someone deliberately targets children, and then we've got people, transgender people in America, I don't care about that, right? But there's transgender people calling for violence against normals, right? And the Biden administration goes out and champions their cause a few days after someone who's transgender went to a school and slaughtered human beings.
And so let's go back in time a little bit, talking about back in times, 80s, 70s. We didn't have this stuff. We didn't have these problems. Why? Because when you decided, you were a little, you were taken care of. You didn't let the mentally ill wander the streets, which now we let the mentally ill wander the streets because you can't lock them up. Come on,
dude. We let the criminals wander the streets. We don't lock up the criminals. I agree with you, but we don't lock up the criminals either, right?
That's another subject. We're not going to cross the genders here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, so you didn't have these problems. Why do you have these problems now? Well, because you let the problems happen. That's why you have the problems now. Mm-hmm. There's nothing. I mean, there's always been the freak show. The freak show's not new.
There's always been transgender people. There's always been gay people. There's always been different types of people.
There's always been gay people, but when folks decide they're going to start cutting their things off and sewing up their holes and doing all that stuff, that's not the normal process. That's not even close to being gay. That's self. You when you start self-mutilating yourself because you think or you force your kids to start doing that.
I think we do have to consider what chemicals we're adding to people, right? And what those
why are we prescribing chemicals to change people? Why are we prescribing chemicals to change people?
We do have to think about that. I personally just don't give a shit what people want to be and how they want to live their life. If it doesn't hurt other people, and if it doesn't hurt or affect children, right?
But it is, and when your kids got to go to school and listen to this shit. It's affecting every single
that's one of the things I think is a big problem. We're not teaching kids how to survive anymore. We've always had a tough. We've always had a tough time teaching kids what they need to know. But progressively, and I'm saying that deliberately, every single pun intended. Progressively over time, the liberals run the educational system in America, and they have progressively. Just completely destroyed the educational system to create zombies, okay? And therefore, kids are growing up, and unless their parents have a real tight hold on what they're learning and how they're thinking, those kids are growing up really fucked up. And not thinking about, math, or how can I make stuff, how can I take care of myself. They're not thinking about those kinds of things. They're not thinking, how can I be a productive member of society? They're out there thinking, look, I ran into that with my kids. There was times when my kids say, we're really because we're black, we're kind of like, everybody's coming down on us. We got a tough life. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I get it. You're black. Okay, congratulations. You didn't grow up suffering like my parents. You know, I didn't grow up suffering like my parents. So you're not suffering like that. I don't really know what you're talking about. If someone called you a bad name at school, I get it. But everyone gets called bad names, beaten up, bullied. It's fucked up. But every human being does that to every other human being if they could get away with it. And it used to be a thing that it was a fire you had to go through to become a man or become a woman and learn how to deal with your shit. Yeah, it's a natural thing.
That's the pecking order.
Yeah, you know. So
but now oh God, I'm emotionally disturbed now for the rest of my life. I need to be pitied. Oh, and it's like, fuck off. Come on, I'm tired of hearing all this shit. How you're traumatically disturbed and you're because everybody's traumatically disturbed. Oh. I need some drugs.
That's the point. The point is to
care.
make us all feel bad. Listen, aren't there... Look, you guys are experts in this field. Aren't there a lot of white dudes out there who feel like beaten up?
They're fucked up.
Yeah, there's a lot of white dudes out there who feel like the whole world's against us. You know, we're the enemy. I get it. Like my take on it is welcome to the fucking Terror Dome. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't disagree with that at all either, though. I think the media is against white people right now for sure. So.
Well, it's because that's what's in right now. That's the end.
That's the hotness, yes.
You know?
Ironically, the media is mostly predominantly controlled by white dudes.
It's not. It is controlled by white dudes. You have some token black folk doing different things here and there.
For sure.
But it's run by white guys.
100%.
I mean, let's be honest.
But this is like the Antifa riots. Who was rioting?
If we can agree that
the brothers are rioting, that's it.
Is controlled by white folks in the same way that the banks are controlled by white folks, then sure, the media is controlled.
There's other things that control the banks too.
Listen, Walter, the riots. You guys saw the riots. You're trying to tell me those riots with black people out there rioting, tearing down their neighborhoods, burning their neighborhoods?
No, those are stupid ass white people.
No, it was not black. It was not black people, Walt.
White.
Yeah, it was not black people, Walter.
Not the black neighborhoods. It wasn't white folk.
Walter, go back and look at that.
Folk in the black neighborhoods.
Walter, they were busing in.
Look who's running through the stores with a TV in their arm. Going outside.
When are you talking about the 80s, or are you talking about the riots that happened in the last 3 years?
A couple years ago, my friend.
I'm telling you, I was looking at the same footage as you guys.
It depended on the location. I think if you went to big areas, it was going to be Antifa. If you went to the black neighborhoods, and it's going to be black folk.
Portland.
Okay. Who was so? Listen, if we look,
I think was a bunch of
if we look at New York City, if we look at New York City of who was smashing in the windows of Balenciaga, yes, 100%. Who was smashing in the windows of Rolex? Right? Yeah, that was black people. Okay, but if we look, listen to me, if we go back to the poor neighborhoods out in the Midwest of who was like tearing down businesses that didn't have expensive luxury clothing or I don't know what kind of fucking bags or whatever.
That's an interesting. That was people bust in there. Black people like to steal. White people like to burn shit to the ground. That's an interesting thing you're putting out here.
Well, think about it for a second, right? Think about it for look. Dave Chappelle did a skit on this. Dave Chappelle did a skit on this. Dave Chappelle said, "Guess what? If there's actually reparations and you give everyone in the country, if you give all the black people in the country reparations, and they've got now tens of millions of dollars, what's going to happen? Everyone's going to be buying Benzes and Rolls Royces and all the luxury shit. I'm going
to start selling gold wheels." Gold grills.
Walter, you sell the gold rims. I'm gonna get myself a tow truck. I'm gonna get myself one of those so we can back up and yank the cars when they don't get.
So even Kanye West said that he blew up and bought himself a Maybach. But a white guy would have probably started a business, right? This is one of the differences.
You know what's funny? I've thought about that before. If we ever won the lottery, there's only a couple things I'd buy. I would buy myself that Rolex I want. I would pay off all of our debts, and then I would straight up buy. Go buy.
Walter's showing off his Rollie for everyone on audio.
I got one too somewhere.
Oh God, don't start ripping out Rollies and stuff like that now. All right, there you go. Congratulations.
Walther's got a nice one. Walther has a very nice. I really like that Rolex.
Yeah,
it's a very nice one.
Yeah, nice Rolex.
The prices on those are ridiculous.
Went up in value too, by the way.
Yeah. Congratulations.
But yeah, so I would buy a couple of things. I buy a couple of things, but
Patrick
I would
is a little.
He's
a little black. He would definitely use his reparations money. If Patrick got white
for
reparations, yeah, he would definitely.
I pay off my car. I get all of our debts paid off first.
Look, it's true. If you look at New York, like, who's really suffering? The people in New York City are not suffering. I'm sorry. I grew up in New York City. You're not really suffering in New York City because if you were suffering, if you thought this was bullshit, the people in New York City would get rid of this prosecutor, the Manhattan DA, who's fucking indicting Donald Trump for some bullshit, but letting people out of prison, and people are just getting fucking slaughtered in New York City. This is where I grew up. This is where my immediate family, for the most part, 99% of them live in New York City. And they're dealing with this shit. They're not going, wait a second, we got to get rid of all these people and vote them out of office and all of that. I don't even see the Republicans in New York up in arms. So if you were really suffering there, you wouldn't do it. So when shit happens in New York City, what do? They go steal a bunch of, like, high-end, Louis Vuitton shit, and that's what they do. But in other parts of the country where you do have people struggling to build businesses, we saw black business people saying, why are you guys destroying my business? I live here in this neighborhood. Why are you doing it? And we saw white men and women bust out to these places, tearing everything down, dragging people out of their businesses and burning shit down. That's what we saw predominantly. Do we see black people in America doing a lot of crazy shit? Yes, I will never argue that with you. Do black people in America kill more black people in America than cops and white people and the government? 100%
Chinese,
fucking
Mexicans,
yes.
everything combined.
Yeah, and it's horrible. It sucks. That's bullshit. That's on black people. I would never blame you guys for that. That's on us that we're doing that shit. Look at what was in the news today here. I think this was in Florida. A guy killed his baby mother, stabbed her to death like 100 times, and then took his son. Somehow they found this son dead in the jaws of a fucking gator. That dude should be drawn and quartered, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, just straight up.
Yeah,
okay?
But you're not understanding enough. You don't understand what.
Oh, fuck that!
Through.
I got no understanding for that dude.
And they said he might be mentally disabled. I mean, he might be.
Then we don't need him.
Well,
we do not need this guy.
We should end him by making him mentally disabled with a chunk of lead.
He needs to get fed to that gator.
That person does not belong in society.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And where's the outrage about it? Who do you know that's outraged about that? So I'm like that aspect of what we're talking about. I understand it. That's on us. That's us doing that to us.
You mentioned a real good subject, which I have to ask questions about.
Okay.
Why would the white guy start a business and the brother go buy some wheels? Why is that?
I don't know.
Is that he's been watching his other brothers buy wheels? Is that the media that he watches all the time, where everybody's buying wheels?
As far as I can tell, we're having some hiccups with the internet. As far as I can tell, black folk like wearing their wealth. Black folk like wearing their wealth externally. White folk don't do that.
But why is that?
I think that it's a lack of understanding of what real generational wealth is. So here's the thing.
Lack of education.
I think it's generational wealth. So what I mean by that, for anyone who's listening and doesn't understand generational wealth, if you have a lot of money but you can't pass it on to your kids, your grandkids, and everyone in your line, your bloodline, forever and ever, then you do not have generational wealth. Right? So how do you do that? It's not good enough for you to be rich and have really nice things, but your kids don't have that, right? That's not good enough. You have to be able to pass that on, and that's actually more than money. Right? Lots of people in America have built generational wealth without doing those kinds of things. Now, obviously, if you're talking to, everything's personal for people and what they're doing. Like if you're talking to me personally, like I've got some nice cars or whatever, but I'm in the business of talking about guns and cars and things like that, right? So, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to deny, like, I like these things. Everyone has stuff that they like. But do you build a business around that? Do you figure out how to make money around what you're doing? Kanye West is a perfect example. What was he getting mad about and carrying on about? Because he went and made a deal with these clothing companies, right? The manufacturers and distributors of clothing and the people who own the fashion world, and then they screwed him over. But dude, you're one of the wealthiest people in the planet. Why didn't you build these pipelines yourself? If you truly, this one of the problems we have is a lot of people pretending to be geniuses, and they're not geniuses. They're just lucky and they made a lot of money, but they don't fucking understand money.
that or they have a very good management team that know how to make money. So I mean, the prime example of that is the Kardashians, the Kardashian girls. They're not geniuses. They're not business people. They have a management team that gets a very high percentage of all that money they make, and they lead them in the right direction.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
And they're the pretty face. They're the boob job. They're the suntan. Smile, look pretty, show your boobs, make lots of money.
The whole Kardashian fortune was deliberately built. But the mother is very smart. One, she married a guy who had money. Robert Kardashian had money, started money, right? But she didn't end it there. So after he died, she married whatever the guy's name is. I don't know. He's not even a dude anymore. She married that guy, right? And then I don't know if you guys realize this. The whole thing that made Kim Kardashian famous, the sex tape, that was all engineered. It was all engineered and deliberate. Do you guys believe that? Because this is facts that are out there. Yeah. It wasn't accidental. Both people, Ray J and the daughter involved in that, was sent to make these tapes, and they made multiple tapes, and they had contracts and all that kind of stuff. It was a very deliberate thing that was engineered and happened so they could build this fortune. Now, am I going to knock them for that? No. If you understand, that's pimping. That's pimping 101.
And that's disgusting.
It is. I'm not going to do it. I would never. Like, imagine taking your daughter and setting her up to make a sex tape and having it released in order to make money.
That's a problem.
Right? That's what they did. But, it's pimping. And we have a lot of that going on. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm doing things a different way in my life. But we're living in a fucking crazy ass circus, idiocracy type of world where this is how, no, you're not famous if you're a good person and if you do good things and you're really smart and you build things. Even like Elon Musk, that literally took fucking rockets and figured out, we used to look, maybe not you, Patrick, because you're young, but me and Walter used to look at TV shows that were black and white where the rockets took off and then came back down and landed. And even as kids, we were like, that's bullshit. That'll never really happen. And we're fucking living that today. Because of Elon Musk. But Elon Musk is a bad guy. Do you understand what I'm saying? My kids think Elon Musk is a bad guy. They're like, oh, why are you looking at this thing? Yeah, absolutely.
Why is that?
Programming. Subliminal programming. That's what it is.
I guess. I mean, they got to turn that thing off a little bit.
Yeah. Subliminal programming. Now, do I believe that this just started now? I don't know. This has been going on for a long, long, long time. This has been going on for longer than the 80s. The rock stars in the 70s used to put on dresses and makeup and had long hair and did all this type of shit and were taking drugs and having sex with everyone and doing all kinds of crazy shit back then.
But they didn't cut their dicks off, and they didn't have sex with. You know where I'm going with this?
Not that we know of.
They didn't do that, Hank Strange.
Every now and then, a book comes out that actually verifies that. If you don't believe me, you can look into it.
Well, not most rock. Anyways,
the Rolling Stones did a lot of shit that will blow your mind. James Dean did a lot of shit that will blow your mind. By the way.
You always bring up James Dean. Yeah, he was a homosexual. Okay, I get it.
I'm just trying to say, all of this stuff has been going on. Like the Bible talks about Sodom and Gomorrah. When was Bible times? Just out of curiosity, does anyone know when Bible times was?
As I always say,
was that 30 years ago?
Whether it's 1776 or or 1976 or 1786.
All the same.
The debauchery and all that stuff is all the same. They just didn't have a technology. That's it.
Yeah, because there's this part of us as human beings. There is a part of us as human beings that's messed up, and people are feeding to that.
There's serial killers, there's rapists, there's everything else. The preachers that preyed on the kids, all the same. They just didn't have a technology and no way to identify these people.
Yeah, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. We're going to come right back. With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use or $30 a month for business vendors. So when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist. All right, so Lola says that I lost my train of thought when it comes to generational wealth. The thing with that, the thing with that is that I think you have to be the person to seek those things out. It's a long thing, and that's why I kind of went away from it, because it would take we couldn't do enough shows. I think one of the reasons why I do the Who Moved My Freedom podcast is to talk about that and a lot of other things. But this is a conversation that would take a long, long time for us to go over. And it starts with, people believe that, the saying that knowledge is power, right? I don't believe that knowledge is power. You have to have knowledge exists on its own. So you have to be the person to seek the knowledge, right? You seek it. Let's say you read about how to do something, you look at how to do something. Now you have to try to apply that knowledge, right? And when you generally try to apply knowledge, like if you're trying to learn how to weld, all these things I've tried to do, you try to learn how to weld, let's say, for example, and you're pretty horrible, right? But that's because you're trying to apply this knowledge, and you have to keep coming. You have to see oh, I didn't do it right. I have to go back. So once you learn how to apply it and you're successful, you have to learn how to repeat that. Okay, that becomes power. So if, for example, you wanted to learn how to weld, you have to seek out the knowledge, learn how to apply the knowledge correctly, which takes training, etc. And now you become a welder and you get good enough, maybe you apprentice or whatever it is, that someone hires you to weld and you start making money. Knowledge on its own is not power. So generational wealth is a thing you have to seek out. And it's something I started seeking out maybe somewhere around 2005-ish in my life. And it's a journey that I'm on. I don't know all those things. There's a lot of stupid shit that I do, but I try to make what I do benefit my family, and I'm doing that. I'm trying to learn about what's happening and learn how to repeat that and be successful because I learned how to do that thing, right? And for example, that's what I'm doing in YouTube. I've got literally 3 YouTube channels. I'm running one that YouTube, by practice, law, and everything, comes down on. That's gun shit. But because I learned how it works, I have another one that, even though it's a tiny channel, it does very well because I learned how this thing works and I know how to apply things to that and make things happen. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, or you guys want to add anything to that. Just go ahead and say how brilliant I am. That's all you have to do, Patrick, Walter.
Knowledge is power. I agree with that.
Knowledge is power. You have to, and depend on how you apply the power. If you learn how to cook meth and you do it well, you'll go far in certain circles.
Yeah.
That's knowledge.
It is. Without a doubt.
You learn how to manufacture certain things that are illegal, and you do it well, and you can either teach other people how to do it and create a syndicate and stuff. And
a lot of people have done that. Yeah.
Yes,
Patrick?
they have.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
What were you gonna say there, Patrick?
There's a really bad delay, so.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm dealing with it. It looks like on my end everything's okay. Let me see. I think I turned off my other stuff. I should not have other things here trying to run and stuff. Go ahead.
The part of the whole knowledge is power thing, though, is knowledge. The other stuff that you're doing becomes the knowledge. So yeah, you're learning to be a welder, but then adding that skill to something else becomes the knowledge. You do have to have gumption to take it further, though. Yeah.
Well, you have to have stick-to-itiveness. You have to be able to stick to it. Sorry, go ahead, Walt.
Stick. Yeah, the first time you weld and it looks like crap, you go, I'm done, I'm out. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
And then at times, well, what'd you do? It's not the machine that's made the shitty weld. It's you that made the shitty weld. So what were you doing that was wrong?
Yes.
See, a lot of people can't accept that the criticism. When I look at somebody's art or I look at somebody's this and they say, "What do you think?" and I tell them what I really think, and then because you asked,
they don't want to hear what you really think.
Fuck you. So if I go, you don't understand my genius.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and when it looks like a piece of you're better off to say, look, you might want to try this and try that, blah, 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 maybe a little different here,
And you have to be coachable, right? You have to be coachable to learn, right?
That's what I was just about to say, is you need to be teachable. Somebody that says, look at my shit, and then you go, you need to practice more, and then gets angry is not somebody who's teachable.
Which, by the way, none of us here like criticism, by the way. But yes, you have to learn how to deal with it.
I do not mind criticism when you have something productive to add to this
correct
thing. But if you're just going to tell me my stuff looks like shit and you can't tell me how to fix it or why,
how to fix it, then fuck off.
I don't need to hear it.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to tell you, Hank Strange, that your editing looks like shit if I can't make it better. That's my because who am I to say your stuff looks like crap?
Yeah. But everyone needs to. We all need to be open to criticism, and I'm saying that, and Lolo will probably be like, "Please, you're the last person that wants to hear any kind of freaking criticism." Lolo, but we all have to be. Even if you react bad to it, you need to listen to it.
Prime example: when I'm trying to build something or design something, and somebody walks up and goes, "You ever think about doing it this way?" And then I go, "No, but that's a fucking good idea."
Right.
I'm not going to say, "Get out of here! I don't want to hear it." I'm like, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Thanks.
Remember how you came around to my idea for putting up that Pelican case? Remember at first you thought, it was pretty crazy. Do you remember that? Patrick, you weren't there. When I first went to Walther...
On the back of your...
Yeah, on the back of the van. Walther was
like... Well, that was way better than me building a cage out of metal and welding it all up. And yeah,
I know. But for example, like a good example to give to everyone that you guys saw, and this is on video, Patrick making his own MP5. We were trying to fucking run a intervention on his ass, and Patrick was, which is a good thing. He was like, no, I'm gonna fucking do this. I don't care what you guys say. Now I think you listened to us, but you were stubborn, yes, and you did your thing.
It wasn't stubborn. I was.
Go ahead, Patrick.
It's not stubbornness. It was dedication to the craft of learning. Because there's an art in failing and then learning from your failures.
You have to be able to take risks. You have to be able to take... I think you took a risk. Like, a lot of us were afraid, like, Patrick, dude, this is an expensive receiver. Right? It was expensive for you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, and you took a risk, and I think that's why people cared. But you know what? You saw it through, man. So, you're welcome.
I'm happy with it.
In welding, I always say to people, don't learn to weld on your project. Learn to weld on some scrap. Okay, because it could, like that receiver. If you. I see people that I can MIG weld anything. They get a MIG welder out and they think they're going to MIG weld the world. And some of this stuff is like horrendous. I mean, it's, oh God, it's like, ugh.
So many people have commented on that video saying, "Hey, can I get away with MIG welding this?" And I immediately am like, "No." And they're like, "But I'm a really good MIG welder." I'm like, "I don't care. No, do not use MIG welding."
That wasn't your first welding anyway, right? I'm pretty sure that wasn't. No. That wasn't your first welding of anything. No.
It was early on, so it was not great, but no, it was not my first.
Yeah. But this is what we all do. This is what we all... it's risk. You do have to take a risk. Go ahead, Bob.
As much crap as I've welded, I still, every time something like that, when I get ready to do it, it's like, oh, fuck, here it goes. You know, it's like, because you don't get sometimes a second chance to fix something you've screwed up, or you don't want a big clumpy nasty. People are going to see your
It's not like
right
the digital world where you could just hit the reset button. You know, like in what I do editing, I can hit the reset button and start all over again.
Yeah, you're
it's
good
not
to go.
like that.
Yeah.
No, it's real world. It's real world. But life is risk. Like, we all have to learn how to take. Sometimes I do things that are crazy. You know, like this weekend I did something crazy with Lola yesterday, that she did not expect. That totally ruined her Sunday. That, you know, where she went the whole day without eating or anything like that, and running around in a crazy Hank Strange mission. And man, you know, I think when I think about it, I think, you know what, my wife is a saint. I'm trying to be nice to Lola for the next couple of days. I'm gonna put myself on be nice program, but you know, I'm a risk taker, and I think you have to learn how to take risks, but you have to take calculated risk. Why are you laughing, Walter? Why? Why are you laughing?
I'm not even going to comment. Okay.
You have to take calculated risks. You have to know the so for example, in my situation, I don't have the skills to build shit like you guys do, for example. And I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to learn how to build things and do all those kinds of things. But, you know, in my world, I know I'm able to do this. Like what we're doing right now, I can make this kind of stuff happen. And I can make videos, I can edit them, I understand cameras and lighting, and I could jump in front of a camera and talk about any type of shit that I'm genuinely into. So you know, you have to take risks in order to do that. And that's how you move forward doing what you're doing. So if anyone wants to know, I went and bought another van, even though I have a van, which I'm not getting rid of my van. I went and bought another van. But that's for the van channel, man. The van channel's where it's at right now for me. So do you guys want to see my van? I shot some video for you two, specifically. Exclusive video of my van that I can show you guys here. Here, I'll run it in right now. It's not that long. Check it out. This is what's different in the van. This thing right here that you're looking at. That is a plug. This is the van in front of my house just about an hour ago.
All right.
You know. So Walter is actually building up his own van, and I have a van that's all built up. But I wanted to buy a van and DIY it myself without drilling holes. Check it out. This is what it looks like inside.
I told you what to get, an air mattress and a poop bucket. You got it, man.
No, that's what I'm gonna... You think I'm not... So you actually think I'm not gonna do that. You think I'm not gonna, like, just put an air mattress... Because I will. That's my plan.
I'll put air mattress in a poop bucket. That's all you need, man.
So this is an electric van for anyone who doesn't realize it, but it's basically the same as a Ford Transit van. It's a 2022 Ford Transit. It's an E-Transit, this particular one. Right here, there's a power right there that controls the lights. That's what we're looking at here. It takes the lights on and off. And then over here on the right, there's actually what they call a power pack. So that's already built in. You could plug stuff into it. Look at that. What? So it's got some walls in there. There's nothing on the roof, but there is something on the floor, and there's that bulkhead divider. So yeah, I'm gonna be making some videos. It's van related stuff, which is doing something for me currently, but I want to see what happens with it. Lola and I have driven.
As long as it's making you money.
Yeah, we'll see. If it doesn't make money, then I'll move on from it. And do something else. But I want to, because what we talk about it here on the show sometimes, but we talk about it in the van world as well, that electric vans that are out currently are not ready to be camper vans, let's say, because they don't have a long range. Yeah, they don't have a long range. So I want to actually go out there and practice that and figure that out instead of waiting for the perfect van to come along.
You got a lot of room for a generator on that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I want to think about all those things, like, what, how do you go about that? What's a good way to do that, right? Because if you do get a generator, you're going to have to carry some gas, or some kind of fuel for it. What about an extender?
Like an extension cord?
No, I mean, like, what about... Go ahead.
All right, let's be realistic. What's the range on that thing? Max range.
So the range, so these vans are designed to be last mile delivery, which on average is around 75 miles. This has twice that. So this particular one, fully charged, will do about 136 miles on normal.
I'm safe.
On economical,
you can't make
it'll
it
go
to my
further
place
than that.
now.
Oh, I'll make. You know where I bought that thing yesterday?
I'm safe.
Do you know where I bought that thing from yesterday? I was in Sarasota.
Probably Chiefland. What?
No, Sarasota.
Oh, well, so how? Okay, so let me.
So by the way, I send these guys this
question.
picture, and I tell these guys, I was like, "What do you guys think? This should be my next car." They did not even react. Patrick and Walter did not.
Because
they didn't.
I was busy with the baby, by the way. Okay.
Yeah. They didn't even react to me. I was like, "Oh, these guys." No one's, they're not worried. By the way, I cannot afford a Ford GT. That thing's fuck all expensive. Okay, you have to be on a special.
I'm glad you recognized that.
Walt.
That's a sign that you're changing. Yes.
Walt, Ford, you have to be on a special list. Ford has a list. They won't, you can't just go buy one of those things. Ford has to put you on the list that you're eligible. In order to be eligible, you have to have already owned one and a whole bunch of expensive Ford supercars, muscle cars.
That's bullshit. That's some BS.
And then it's still, we're talking a couple of hundred. What is that car like?
No, it's really not. And it's not really. Because that pre-qualifies you. They know you're not just some blowhard that walks in and say, "Oh, I got the money. Yeah, I want that car." You know what I'm saying?
Well, think about it. Ford is going to sell that.
Blowhard. If I got the money and you run my finances, it's mine.
What's the price of I think a GT, a Ford GT, the price outside of
500 now?
I think it's like around 500,000.
But
from Ford, right? But here's the problem:
we're not financing it for 70 years either. So.
No, but so if you had one of those cars that you bought for $500,000 from Ford, you could probably sell it for $1 million immediately. But there's also a contract. When they sell it to you,
can't qualify for Ford.
Yes, but when they sell it to you, you have to sign a contract saying that you will not sell it for 2 years.
That you won't resell it.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. I can't imagine that holding up in court either.
Remember it happened with John Cena? We talked about it here. That he sold it.
Cena?
Yeah, they sold him one, and then he sold it, and then he got sued by them. And then they somehow settled all of that out of court. But Ferrari does that.
Asus says...
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to buy a Ferrari, you have to...
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the pause in there buying a Ferrari. Yes.
Yeah. So someone asked the charge time on that van from 0 to 80% takes 34 minutes. It doesn't have a fast like the Audi that we have.
Where can you charge?
You can charge at Electrify America or any of the other charging places except Tesla. There's other networks for fast charging. There's Electrify America and a whole bunch of other ones that exist. Yesterday we did Electrify America. It took us 3 charges to get back to where we live. Yeah.
That's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable for me.
Listen, man, I am a pioneer.
Scary, actually, because
I'm a pioneer. I'm descendant of those. I don't know about you two white dudes, but I'm descendant of those Vikings.
Oh,
okay, they built their ships. They chopped down the trees. They built their ships. They sailed across the fucking ocean. When they landed on the beach, they burned the ships down and they went and conquered mofos. That's where I came from. I don't know about you guys. But that's how
you in a fairy tale, bitch. You in a fairy tale. Viking.
What is
Viking?
I got a little bit of Scottish blood in me. I already showed you the evidence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Scots weren't Vikings.
That don't mean you're a Viking.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let me see. I can check. Hold on. Let me oh wait. Damn it! Let me see if this gets any better here, because I got one of my... Maybe I have too many windows open. That's what happened. Shucks. I should have closed some windows.
I like the Viking shit.
I got a little bit of Viking blood. I'm pretty sure I do. I definitely got some. Without a doubt, I got some crazy Indian blood. I got some crazy African blood, and a couple of drops. A couple of drops. I got at least a couple of drops of Viking blood. There's a couple of drops in there. Okay. Don't hate me. I'm pretty sure I got more Viking blood than what's her name has Indian blood. What's the name of the Pocahontas?
Jesus.
I'm guaranteeing fucking to you.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Damn it.
She has
high cheekbones. She's kind of fell out. She's kind of van.
Yeah, go ahead.
She what?
I'm trying to remember her. Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren.
Oh,
that's who
Elizabeth
it is.
Warren.
Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Pocahontas, yes. Okay, we got 30 seconds. You guys can go for it. Let me see. Let me know if that made anything better. I closed some stuff here. Hopefully that helps. Made something better. I don't know.
Yeah, 42 Chill just brought up a very interesting subject for you electric car people.
Mm-hmm.
Those three nasty words for electronics. EMP.
EMP. We're going to have bigger
not
problems
EMP
in the
proof,
world.
Definitely not.
Every vehicle that we're all driving, except with the exception of Walther's,
we wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of a DAO or decentralized autonomous organization like TUSC Crypto. TUSC cryptocurrency is a firearm-friendly e-commerce option for online payment transactions, secured on the blockchain. So when you're in the crypto market, please consider TUSC, TUSC.
Okay, so Dan Hates You says Florida man burns boat, says he's a Viking. Oh boy. Yeah, well that's how it is. And all of our cars, who has a car that's EMP proof? Well, I think Walter probably does.
I would love to have one, but no.
Hang on. I'm thinking here.
No mill vehicle you got? Nothing?
Yeah, your military vehicles
right
have
now,
to be.
The Humvee has one box with some wiring stuff in it, but I don't think there's any printed circuits in that. But it's in a metal box, so I don't know if that'll help. The 1078 definitely has some stuff, but I don't know if that would stop it from. Probably would. It probably would.
So do we really think like EMPs are taking out all vehicles? Because I don't believe that. If we seriously had an EMP, it's not killing everything electronic. I mean,
it depends on where you're at in relation to the EMP, probably. I know. Back in the when they started doing the atomic test out in the islands, that one time they set one off and freaking Hawaii went blacked out. They didn't know that was going to happen. That was all new to them back then. So, it's.
I don't believe EMP will take out everything. Yeah, I think we can look that up. I mean, we don't know until we do it. So here, let's see.
Let's do it.
Oh, who said let's do it?
Yeah.
Regardless of method of delivery, EMPs can be powerful enough to cripple electronic wiring and circuitry over a geographic area as large as several square miles, posing a real threat to the nation's critical infrastructure. Now, I mean, can you set off multiple EMPs? Yes.
Well, it depends on how big it is, what you set off in the atmosphere, I guess, and where you set it off at. But I mean, to have a vehicle, you'd have to have something with points and condenser and old school ignition. And even then, you might suffer something from it too. So depending on how close.
So let's say that your vehicle is still even running. If let's say we had like nationwide EMPs go off, right? I mean, you're gonna have problems even if your car is still running.
Well, then you're gonna have to pump the gas out of the ground with a hand pump.
Yeah.
And then people will start killing each other at the hand pump.
Yeah, so. If you could get to a gas station and get the gas out of the ground, you're still going to have security while you're doing that.
Oh, there's the world. If there's an EMP that goes off, the car is your least problem. For sure.
I'm telling you.
As soon as this thing turned off and didn't come back on, half the world would start killing each other. It'd be like zombie land,
Half of us would not know how to use the bathroom.
They can't look at.
We can't use the bathroom without those even.
Well, speak for yourself. I don't have a tush washer on my toilet, so I wouldn't know what to. I'm like, good,
fine. You don't know. I don't have one either, Walter. I don't have one either.
I know you don't. But it's one of your.
I'm working on it.
Favorite subjects. So.
Yeah, I'm working on it. When I get my reparations money, no. I'm putting bidets everywhere. Bidets for everybody.
I'd go in that business too, because all you gotta do is make them out of gold, plated, and the motherfucker take them everywhere. I don't know.
You know what? I wouldn't mind a gold. I wouldn't mind a gold toilet with a bidet. You know.
Gold plated, I said, my friend. Gold plated.
Oh, gold plated. Yeah. It's not too bad. I could imagine if I had a gold toilet, man, I'll be tweetering from that thing all the time.
I would feel weird having a gold toilet.
Really?
Solid gold toilet? That'd be weird.
I wouldn't feel bad because I would have took all y'all's money getting that
solid tungsten toilet.
Oh, is that supposed to be the best toilet?
Tungsten. It will be installed with a crane because it will weigh 2 tons. I'll have to reinforce the floor to get that turd liquor.
Okay. Dan Hasty says, "You're a Viking. You don't get reparations unless you pillage it. If reparations comes up, I'm only identifying as African American at that point."
Yeah, you and Camilla.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm gonna be doing.
The woman is whiter than most Italians. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is Camilla? What is Camilla? What is she? She's half white and half Indian, something like that. I don't know.
Indian and then Jamaican. Somebody was Jamaican.
Well, yeah. If the Jamaicans are typically, you can have white Jamaicans, but typically those are people.
Oh yes,
Caribbean
you can.
People. Yeah, there's a lot of white Jamaicans.
I mean, you could have light skin, like it's the same like Cubans. I mean, there's white Cubans.
No, but I'm saying like actual white people. Yeah, there's a lot of Europeans that went to live in Jamaica and have been born there for generations in Jamaica.
Yeah. So. And
if you meet them, they talk with a complete patois accent. They're like, "Yeah, man, what's go on?" like that. And it's a white dude, looks like Walter.
That's like when you see an Asian English woman and she opens her mouth and she's full on like Cockney. It's like, what the hell?
There's Caribbean people that have from Chinese background, yes. So you'll run into that same thing. Lots of different people out in the world, man.
DCG 44S mini bikes, EMP proof. They have I don't know what's in the coil. There's old school ones that have points and condenser, and then there's the electronic ones. So the best one would be is diesel, straight up old school diesel. No power system, no nothing. Just spin it over,
completely
compression start, and you're down the road, man. Boom.
Yeah, people don't even know how to dial a old school telephone.
What's that?
People don't know how to dial an old school telephone.
Oh, that is so funny to watch these kids pick up a phone. They're like going. They don't know what the hell's going on. It's like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good luck with someone being able to start up a car like that. Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen the videos of people trying to ask the Utes what certain things mean? One of them is they'll ask kids that are under 18 years old, what does this mean? They'll look at me like, what does this mean? And a lot of kids have no concept. Or they'll ask them like, what's the universal hand sign for phone? And they'll look in like confusion and be like, it's like anybody older than that would know, like, this is telephone. Everybody.
Right, call me.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of kids don't even know. Call me, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If I look at my kids are in adult territory now. I'm pretty sure that Chrome Vandium isn't going to know what the fuck.
God, yeah.
None of this shit is.
They don't really have any reason to. I mean, they're not confronted with a dial telephone or any of those old.
Yeah. I mean, will Chrome Vandium know what a freaking outhouse is? I doubt it.
Well, that's pretty easy to figure out.
When's the last time? No, where have you seen? Okay, who's seen an outhouse in the last year? I know I have. You guys seen an outhouse?
At somebody's house or in
anywhere,
anywhere
in the
national
world.
Park? National park?
I was I was somewhere.
They do have national park outhouses.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of outhouses in the last 6 months.
Yeah, you stop at a lot of places.
Yeah.
It's a
There's going to be some weird things that Marley and I will say, and we'll realize he will grow up in a world, and your kids probably did too, Hank, that will only know connectivity 24/7. The internet is always on.
My kids don't know shit about an outhouse. Have you guys ever used an outhouse in your life, other than like in a national park, like Walter's saying? You ever? Because I know when I was a kid in England, there was a outhouse in a place we were living in England, and that was in London.
I think I have. As a kid, my grandfather's family in Tennessee had some property, and on it was an outhouse. I'm pretty sure.
But you know what though? We do have porta potties. Those are technically outhouses, but I don't know.
Fancier, stinkier outhouse.
Yeah, those are the worst things in the world, man. Can you imagine? Like, you see those movies where people have porta potty accidents, like where someone locks you in the porta potty and knocks it over or some shit. I will kill you.
Tips it over? No, thank you.
Yeah, I've seen that in movies.
Yeah, that's not that.
Okay, so someone says 8-track. Anyone here ever use an 8-track? Let's see. I don't think Patrick's putting his hands up on this one. Walter,
I have. I've used one.
Oh, you've used an 8-track? What?
I've used an 8-track. Yeah. It's not impressive. It's not a very impressive piece of technology, but I have.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Who? Okay, so
you were one of those
trivia.
You were one of those pirates stealing stuff off the radio, huh?
I've used reel to reel.
I've stolen it off everything. Who knows who designed the 8-track or whose invention that was?
Who invented the 8-track? I'm gonna say the 8-track. Was this German? No.
No, I think if I'm not mistaken, the
Hitler.
person here in America no, that was a magnetic tape was a German thing actually.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't Hitler. Hitler,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Hitler designed the Hitler stash. What was a Hitler stash called before Hitler did it?
It was never the Hitler stash. It was a popular thing. It was when Groucho Marx wore a Hitler stash, and then Hitler ruined it for the rest of it. It was back in like the 20s and 30s. It was extremely popular. Can't wear that anymore though. You go to the barber and ask for that, and they're going to look at you sideways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everybody?
Yeah,
is everybody broken up? Like
there might be a little bit of a delay.
It's terrible.
I don't know what's going on. I'll check you guys have to check your internet too. Mine on my end, I'm not seeing it.
It's not us. It's you.
Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna let me
run.
Connecting
into you.
Yeah, everything's running into me here, but there might be some problems going on here. I'm still on what we're supposed to be on. Let me do a speed test and see what's happening here. And I'm figuring at this point.
I can say it right now. It's not me.
Yeah, I know. You guys have awesome internet. Blah blah blah. 1,000 up, 1,000 down. Yada yada yada, etc.
591 down.
Jeez.
Let's see here. Yeah.
I'm Wi-Fi.
This is like a Ferrari in its acceleration.
Oh, my up is over 20 though, so I know it's nowhere. It's not as much as you guys, but it's
over 20. That's
942 up. 942.
Don't shame me for my internet, man. Don't shame me for my internet. I'm gonna start pulling my electric van up outside of your house and doing the podcast out of that thing.
You're welcome to do it. I got good internet. You did it for a while.
Yeah, it happened before. We might have to go back.
He can make it with the Ford. The Ford will make it.
I can make it to. I can make it to Patrick's house, and I'm plugging in at your. By the way, Patrick, you need to put a point over there for me to plug in. I have a
220 already. I run my welder and my.
Oh, it's the welder adapter thing. Okay, cool. I gotta get another one of those.
Welder and a lathe runs off of a 220, and it's got.
I'm glad you know.
I believe it's a Winky Eye. No, it's not a Winky Eye 220. It's a standard. It's a standard 220.
Okay, so that's the same as yours, right,
like
Walt?
A dryer plug.
Yeah, like a dryer plug. Yeah.
That's a dryer plug. It's a dryer plug 220. 50 amp 220.
Okay. All right, cool. Walt, do you have one of those at your house?
It's way in the back. This delay is killing me.
Don't you have an extension cord, damn it? Yeah, you don't have an extension cord? Oh, okay. Walter has an extension cord. I know we're going to have to get another extension cord.
That's at the shop.
Oh, okay. What do you have at the house, Walt? You need to put in a system at the house for when I come over to visit. No? No? Come on. Come on, help a brother out.
They can't hear me yet.
Okay. Let's see. Anyone here record anything on cassette tapes?
Oh.
I used to record on cassette tapes all the time.
I had cassettes,
a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
I did that too. I had. Oh yeah.
When I started using computers, that's how I saved my work. So when I was a kid in high school, like 1986, 1987, that's how I saved my work that I did when I was like programming stuff in BASIC and all that. You put it on a cassette tape and it sounds like beeps.
Yeah, there was a system that was sold, like a home system that used cassette tapes for that. I forget which one it was. I had one for a while. It worked all right. Not doing. That was back in the day where you had like maybe what is it, a megabyte of memory or something, or a megabyte and a half of memory, and that was a big deal. Or 50K. I remember 50K, 75K.
That's what it was.
It's like.
As a kid, I had a 2XL, which was a cassette tape robot thing. It was really cool because it was like a God, what would you like
those Lego construction?
Choose Your Own Adventure. Mm-hmm. What was that?
No, I think there was remember there was those robots you can build, not from Lego, but like Lego Technic or something. No?
That wasn't so. What I had was you put a cassette tape in it, and it had 4 buttons on the bottom, and it would do depending on the cassette, you could get like trivia or like Goosebumps, Choose Your Own Adventure, and instead of flip to page 22, flip to page 105, you would be like choose option 1, choose option B, and then it would skip to the different spots in the tape, and it was the coolest freaking thing as a kid. I had that, and I had a Fisher, I think it was Fisher Price cassette tape recorder thing. It has like a handle on top, it's brightly colored. You put cassette tapes in it and had a microphone. And man, we must have run through cassette tapes as kids. I played with so many cassette tapes.
So in my time, Patrick, here's what we had for that. We had these things called novels, Choose Your Own Adventure novels. And basically what it is was pieces of paper glued together. And you flip through it and you read. And then it said, like, if you go through the door, you go to page 122. That was the old
book.
It was a book. It was a book, like a novel.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the Goosebumps. Choose Your Own Adventure. Those were really fun as a kid.
I never did the Goosebump ones, but there were a lot of adventures like that.
Yeah, they were. No, Choose Your Own Adventure stuff was really fun.
We had
except when my least favorite is when I was. Go ahead, Walter. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We had a thing called bicycle.
Oh, yeah.
And you went outside.
In your time, it was a unicycle.
As a child, I was not illiterate.
In Walter's time, I'm sure there was a unicycle.
Jump ramps like Evel Knievel and stuff like that.
Can you ride a unicycle?
Jump off the stairs and play.
One thing that I missed out on that I hope he doesn't miss out on is we didn't have kids in our neighborhood. I grew up in a neighborhood that was just adults, no kids, no nothing. So I never had that experience of being a kid in a neighborhood where you would get all the kids together and do dumb shit. I never had that experience, and I feel like I missed out on it.
You get somebody gets a pair of boxing gloves, and you start boxing with your buddies. And next thing you know, somebody's pissed off because you punched him too hard, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Remember people used to do the wrestling moves, like you would look at wrestling and see like what the. That's how people died. People got paralyzed. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Trying to like jump off the rings and do all those stupid things that you saw. Listen, man, in my day, I remember playing G.I. Joes out in the streets with my friends. And I had the bootleg G.I. Joes. Couldn't afford like the actual original Hasbro or whoever made it, G.I. Joes, and I think a lot of the other kids. But if you were like one of the kids that had the actual G.I. Joes or the vehicle, remember G.I. Joe had some vehicles and stuff like that. Like it would be a bicycle and it would transform into a plane or some craziness. And then you'd be out in the streets with your friends playing with G.I. Joes, and sometimes mixing in He-Man. So somebody would have He-Man action figures, and someone else had G.I. Joes, you know. And sometimes you had the chick,
Hank,
like when you... Go ahead, Go ahead.
That's called Barbie.
Yeah.
Did you, when you were in England, did you have Action Man, like G.I. Joe? They call them Action Man in England.
Yeah, well, so in England, those were bigger and more, you could articulate them
you're
more.
Talking about
they were tall.
12-inch.
Yeah, they were taller, and you could you could put different clothes on them. They came with boots and guns. I'm sorry, like helmets and boots and guns and all that kind of stuff. And they had different kinds of clothing for whatever, thing they were in. Yeah, did all that craziness. All of that. So we played with dolls. They were boys' dolls and girls' dolls, and sometimes the two things got mixed up.
Not. They were action figures and dolls. Two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are expensive. And actually, I think Patrick and Walter have seen this. Like, I collected a bunch of action figures for my kids that have never come out of the boxes. And my kids could give two craps about those things, man. There's probably a couple $1,000 sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've got duplicates of everything, like 2 of everything at least.
Looks like it might be...
Auction!
Might be time for eBay. That's all.
Yeah, got to put them all together, put them on an auction, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my kid's inheritance is going down the drain. But I'll invest
Their inheritance is toys.
Yeah, we're taking a break.
The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran owned and with over 20 years experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com.
I don't know how the signal's coming in. I don't know if you guys, or if it's getting any better or not. I'll try to see if I can get Lola to check on it for the short amount of time that we have left here. So let's see. So Dan H.U. says, back in the day I had the original tablet, the one made out of stone. Do you know, so like...
Okay, I mean, like Etch-a-Sketch. You guys ever have Etch-a-Sketch?
Yeah. Yeah, Etch-a-Sketch is kind of new, relatively. It's been out there for a while. Rubik's Cube. Did you ever solve a Rubik's Cube? This is a good question. Have you ever in your life solved a Rubik's Cube?
No.
Oh, really? Damn it.
Nope, not smart enough. Can't do it. Nope.
Oh, did you ever move around the stickers on the Rubik's Cube?
No, I never did. I
didn't have time for that either.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone's saying, did the stream get EMP'd? No, we didn't. We're here. I don't... Yeah, we've definitely got signal
Hank's
problems.
house got EMP'd, I think.
I'm trying to see if I can get Lola to come and check on it. But we'll see. Hopefully you guys are still out there. I know I'm still recording. I'm getting everything in here. We got a little bit left to go here on the show, so we will stick to it and muddle through. We will champion on.
All right.
Go ahead.
Who built the treehouse? Everybody ever built the old treehouse?
No. Treehouse, no.
Never had a chance to.
No. Yeah.
That requires having some really good trees, and we didn't have that. So.
Yeah, you got to have trees first. That's true.
Yeah, you gotta.
That you own.
I know.
That you own those trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did shoot BB guns. We had BB guns as a kid, and we would go cross from... So my parents' house backs up to a ditch, and then a whole bunch of woods. We would just take cans. I would go out to the backyard, to the recycling, take a bunch of cans out, and line them up next to the retention pond, or next to the ditch, and shoot BB guns. And I remember having a cop stop by one time and was like, "What are y'all doing?" And I was like, "We're shooting cans with a BB gun." I must have been 10. Shooting cans with a BB gun. And he was like, Okay, be safe. Drove off. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, those were the good old days. We had cardboard boxes, though, Walter. I used to turn cardboard boxes into houses, cars, rocket ships.
Yeah, did that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Give a. You'll find out, Patrick, when your son gets a little bit older. Give him a cardboard box, and he'll be like,
yeah,
they got a fort, got something to crawl into, got something to tear up. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gnaw on it. Get on the side, gnaw on it a little bit.
Yeah, see if he could get out of there. I saw that you did that thing where were you trying to get Chrome Vandium to do push-ups or something? Remember you were trying to make Chrome Vandium do push-ups, and then Buckshot was mad at you?
He has to do what's called tummy time, which is puts his hands underneath him so he pushes himself up so he gets strong enough for crawling. And he was not having it. He was completely saying, no, I'm done with this shit. The second I put him down, face down, he was like, I don't want to do this right now. And was not. And then the dog was getting in my face because the baby is crying. So the dog's like, why is the baby crying? What are you doing? It's like, I had to tell the dog, no, the baby's okay. He's totally fine. He just don't want to be down there. Marley's in charge of the tummy time now because the baby hated it.
Yeah, but Buckshot, man, I can tell he already identifies with the baby because he was like, "You are being a bastard right now."
Yes, absolutely. He was looking at any time the baby does something like that the dog thinks that we can prevent. The dog gets up in our shit, telling us like, "Why aren't you doing something? The baby's clearly unhappy. You should be doing something. Why aren't you doing something?" Ugh, the disaster that I live with.
No, but I think that's good, man.
TCG 44S.
Yeah. What did he say? He says what?
No, he said he built no tree fort, but he did an underground fort. That's some scary shit.
Yeah.
I don't like digging underground. I hear about kids dig underground and it collapses on them.
No tree houses, but what
Dad would.
What is an underground fort? I don't know what that is, Evian. How can you dig
a tunnel, man? You dig into the.
Yeah, dig a tunnel. Dad would never let me do it because on the fire department, he went to a kid that had suffocated. That him and his friends dug a hole.
Yeah.
It fell on one of them, and he suffocated. And after that, he was like, "Don't you ever dig no holes in this backyard, boy."
Yeah. I had to crawl. I had to dig a hole underneath my house, kind of to get to a pipe to put a drain in it, and I didn't like even crawling in that thing because it was like all it takes is one side to kind of come down on you, and you're in a bad way. So it's like,
yeah. And Florida, man, you could be digging that hole in a sinkhole, and you start the apocalypse.
Only Hank Strange, you dig right into a sinkhole. Next thing you know, you're in China.
Like the whole planet falls through from you. You're ground zero for that. Okay, so here's one thing I gotta ask Walter, because Patrick and Walter were talking about this, and I didn't get it. So you guys are gonna have to explain to me, what the hell is this? Because I don't get it. What am I looking at? For people listening, this is on Safety Harbor Firearms on Instagram. It's a picture of a dude who I think I recognize.
It's on stemparts.com.
Yeah, it's from stemparts.com, but it's on Safety. Yeah, it's on Safety Harbor Firearms as well. But it's basically a hoodie and like a T-shirt that says stemparts.com. Is that what is the? I don't know what the.
Well, the concept of the hoodie is the raindrop camo pattern that the East Germans and the Czechs and some of the other ones use.
Oh, okay. Is that what that is? Raindrop?
That's what it's called, yeah. Normally that would be, the background would be almost a green color, and the raindrops are like brown. I don't have a piece here. I do have a piece here to show you. As a matter of fact, I do. But
so this is camo that actually worked as camouflage? Or
streak tarn. Streak tarn is the German version, or strike tarn, which is line camouflage. The East German streak tarn.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is East German here. So the concept is my son is working on doing some clothing, actually.
So, cool. Okay.
So it started out with that hoodie, and that hoodie was kind of a prototype that he had sewn in actually in China.
Okay.
But so yeah, that's something he's working on.
So that's coming
it's not
out.
A joke, it's for real.
Okay, that's coming out. Is it going to have stenparts.com on it, or is it just going to be like a hoodie with the camo in it, or it's like a gray man?
It's not going to have big obnoxious like stem parts on the outside and stuff. It might have a tag inside, but it's not going to. It's not going to be like, yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to have this kind of stuff printed on the outside of it. Yeah. So.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool, but Patrick was all excited, and I was like, I don't get it.
I love the East German strike tarn, whatever they call it, line camo, raindrop camo. Yeah. I think it looks awesome. Yeah. It's a piece of shit camo. I don't think it would work worth a shit in modern times, but as a pattern, I just think it looks awesome, and I will buy one of those whenever they hit stenparts.com.
We're working on, like I said, it's got to be the right colors and the right. There's more to figure out before it hits the streets. But this is one of the East German camos that I like. It's
that one's good too. It's like that paint
name
pattern.
of it, but it wasn't issued in huge numbers. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's some things we're working on.
So that's cool. And by the way, before I wanted to talk about the trip you're going off on, Walt. Sorry, go ahead. What's up? What's up, Patrick?
The train trip. Yeah.
Yeah, but before we do that, we keep forgetting to promote Spencer's badges, because there's a website now, right? Or where's the website for Spencer's badges?
Hang on just a second. Let me get him himself.
Oh, okay. I think you can get these or pins. I should say pins. I think you can get them on Safety Harbor Fire. I'm going to look while Walter's going off to do that. But I did want to talk about this. Walter's going to be going off on a trip for a while here. We won't see him for a couple of weeks, and Patrick and I will have to suffer through doing the podcast here without Walter for a little while. Hopefully we get
you guys
some
my
reports.
Suffering. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Here's my suffering.
He's somewhere else doing something, bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. It's on.
Look at him.
Yeah, you got it. It didn't. Hold on, and boom. Oh, the squinted eye look. Oh, I've seen this look many times. In this case, it's a look of satisfaction right now. He's like, I'm about to get drunk. I'm about to get drunk on some milk, yo. Walt, where's the thing for the pins? Is this on Safety Harbor Firearms or?
No, it's Lion Keller Art. Lion.
Okay, Lion. Hold on, let me
Keller,
put Lion Keller Art. Lion Keller Art. Let's see if it comes up to that.
Lion Keller. Okay. For some reason it's not popping up.
Yeah, we got to make that. We got to make the website. So you just have to do lionkellerart.com, right?
God, he was retarded looking as a newborn. Oh, I just went back and looked at his newborn photos from January. Oh my God, he was weird looking. Little alien.
Oh,
yeah,
he's a baby.
I
there it is. Lion Keller Art. Yeah. Lion Keller Art.
Yeah, here it goes. I got it up. So boom. So you guys can support. You can support Spencer, and he's got some cool things up there. He's got the ghost, the green skull, screaming pumpkin pins that you can buy from Lion Keller Art. And I know I promised him that I was going to show the website, and I like skulls, so we can. That's what the skull looks like right there.
He's going to do. I think he told me he's going to do the skull in pink. Because I guess some females were asking about doing the skull in pink.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. You got to listen to the ladies.
He
listen to the ladies. I like the ghost.
Yeah, he's always he never leaves the house without his pins in his hand, so he's always hawking his pins out.
Yes, yeah. I remember I was over there. Oh, when I came with Richard Monder, Spence is like, I'm leaving. I'll be back. He was in the shop and he left. I was like, oh boy. What's up? Spence came back and was trying to sell the pins to Maunder.
Yeah. He does it to everybody. So
yeah, I admire his gumption.
You gotta. If you want to sell, you gotta sell.
Yeah, we went to Hooters and he was hitting up the Hooters chicks to buy some pins. I'm sure he sold some.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So, Walt, tell us about your trip in the time that you have left. What's going on? What can you tell us? I don't know. I don't want to mess up, as Patrick says, OPSEC.
Okay, this is what happened. I'm going on a big train trip, me and a significant other. The shop will still be open. People will be there working. So yeah, leaving tomorrow, flying to New Orleans. On Wednesday, we hop on the train and head towards Chicago for 2 days in Chicago. And then it'll be off to Seattle for another couple days, and then it'll be off to LA for 24 hours, and then back to New Orleans. So,
what are you looking forward to the most in that trip?
Let's see here. Oh, look at the baby. Look at the baby.
There you go. Look at that. Oh boy. Oh yeah.
Smirk.
That is definitely a James right there. That is a James.
He looks just like me.
That is a James right there.
That's a good thing. He looks just like you.
Yeah, otherwise we'll have to do some checks. I mean, he could have come out like, darker complexions.
Start asking questions.
Did you ever see, what was that movie with, Me, Myself, and Irene? Did you ever see that with Jim Carrey?
No.
So in the movie, Jim Carrey's getting married, and the limo driver is this little short black guy. And the limo driver starts talking to Jim Carrey's wife, but she gets pregnant and has babies, and when the babies are born, they're black. So it's a funny movie. You got to go see it. It's more than that.
What's the Cat Williams scene where he's like, "Whose white baby?" He's in prison or something. He's like, "Whose white baby is that?" He's like, "That sure ain't my baby. That's a white baby."
Yeah, but there's documented cases of two white people like this. I remember there was this couple that the wife, she got pregnant and she had a baby and it was a black baby, and the husband was really mad, but they did a genetic test. It was both of their babies. It was both of them. They had the genetics in the lines, and this.
There's been instances where the woman's fucked two guys and had two babies. Two different black baby and a white baby.
That's a movie.
Mix up right there.
That is a movie. That's the setup for a movie right there.
That's really happened. So yeah.
Do you remember the movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito? Anyone ever see that movie? It was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, and they were twins.
Yeah, they were the twins. Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to do a second movie, and it was going to have Eddie Murphy, and it was going to turn out that they were triplets. It never happened, but it would have been cool. Can you imagine that? That would have been some funny shit. That was like in that time it was Eddie Murphy's prime time. I don't think they could settle the contract or whatever with him, so it didn't happen, but that would have been funny. Yeah. Okay, so listen, you're telling us about this trip. What are you looking forward to the most? We're sidetracking here.
Chicago's going to be cool. We're going to go to the museum, Science and Industry, see the German U-boat that's there. We got a city pass for Chicago, so we can see the different museums and aquarium and planetarium and all that junk. Just be typical tourist stuff.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to go hang out with the Obamas and see if Michelle Obama is running for president, or you going to find out any... You're going to do something. Do they actually live in Chicago? I don't think so, right? I don't know where they live.
Who knows?
I don't think they live in Chicago. Somehow I doubt it. I don't know where the hell the Obamas live at, but I'd be surprised if it's Chicago.
Yeah.
So you're going through Chicago, right?
And then after that, it's off to Seattle, which is across the top of the country.
Okay.
That's a 2-day train ride, which I'm looking forward to that.
That should be cool.
Interesting. Should be a lot of stoves still out and stuff, and all over the place.
Yeah, this is a nice time to go on a train ride.
Yeah, Seattle. There's a couple really good airplane museums in Seattle. I don't know if I'm going to do that for 2 days. I don't want to. One day might be a museum. The other day we might do Fisherman's Wharf and all that kind of junk. The Space Needle. I don't know what we'll see what they're doing.
Go to the Chad Autonomous Zone and report back to us. That'll be interesting.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Still
no autonomy zone.
I don't know if that's still. They took that down, right?
What do I look like? I'm not an anarchist.
You know I'm going to mess with you this whole time. Go ahead.
Yeah. Then it's down to L.A.
Oh, L.A. So you're gonna get to smoke some trees, huh? Gonna be smoking some trees. I was in LA last year, man. The minute you hit LA, you smell weed.
Ganja.
Yeah. I'm serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And pee, and it's
Yeah. Weren't you? When were you there, Patrick? Like I think a year, 2 years.
Years ago, but I don't like LA. It was awful.
I have a real sensitive nose. I can win that shit a mile away. It's like if somebody's smoking weed, I can somebody around here smoking weed.
I'm telling you, I was driving in the car and we were on the outskirts of LA, and I was like, we were going in and out of LA for a couple of days, and I was like, oh, this is no joke here.
We'll be sitting in traffic and I'll smell it coming through the air vents, and I'll look over at Marley and I'll be like, and I'll just go, and she'll be like, what? And I'm like, you don't smell that?
Yeah.
And then we'll get closer to whoever the culprit is, and she'll be like, oh. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot here in Florida too. Yeah, it's either weed or a skunk, or both, or skunk
somebody
weed.
farted.
Oh, if someone farted like skunk weed, jeez.
Oh God.
They are too much. They need to get off that vegetarian diet if that's the case.
Oh yeah. So we'll probably do typical tourist stuff in LA. See this, see that. We're only there for 24 hours in LA. So, and then it's back to New Orleans. For
in LA, you know what's cool in LA? When I was there, I didn't get a chance to go, but I would have loved to do. With all seriousness, isn't the Peterson Museum in LA, or close to LA?
That one.
What is it?
The Peterson Museum. Let me see if I'm right. I could be wrong. Peterson Museum. I wanted to go to that. It's a car museum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in LA. See, Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles. So if you guys are in LA for 24 hours, please go to the Peterson Museum. One, the building itself is beautiful, but they have amazing cars, Walt. And when I was there, this is what the building looks like. Here, I'm going to pull it up. This is what the building looks like. So if you get a chance, go there. That's on.
The
that's
Walk
on my
of
list.
Stars is such a disappointment. All that like Hollywood Boulevard stuff is super super disappointing.
Yeah,
trash.
It's like one block in Hobo.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com.
Yeah, if you get a chance, man, if you do, that would be a good place for you guys to go. All seriousness, all the kidding aside, there's awesome cars there. Like, look, the Back to the Future car, that used to be at Universal. One of them used to be at Universal. And there's the Batman car. I think it'll be cool. You might like that. I wanted to do it, but I wasn't there. Oh, there you go. Boom. I wasn't there long enough for that. So these are from Spencer, and you can find it at lionkellerart.com, www.lionkellerart.com.
Woo!
DCG44 says Peterson, as in Peterson Publishing, car mags, etc. So,
okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, it's cool if you're into cars like I am. It's a thing that you really should do. And next time I'm back in LA, I will do that. So
that's art. That's art.
Yeah.
Cars are art. I'll give it to you.
You can see some beautiful designs out there. Okay, so we're gonna start wrapping up here. I don't know. I guess the stuff is kind of chilling out. Before we start to wrap up, we're gonna come back and do a show, I believe, on Wednesday, and we're gonna have Stephen Williford. So Stephen Williford, we were talking about him. He's the guy there was that church shooting, and he was across the street, and he grabbed the magazine, loaded it up, shot the dude, and then chased the guy down. GOA and PSA have a lower out that you guys can support. But he's a really good guy, very interesting story, and he's going to come on. Patrick, if you want to, I know you got a lot of stuff going on, but if you want to join, man, it'd be awesome, I think.
I got a baby all to myself for 12 hours on Wednesday.
Oh, on Wednesday? Okay.
Shit.
I won't be here, but just ask. I never met the guy, never heard him talk about it. But how when the cop showed up and he's there with the gun?
Okay.
How'd that all go down?
That's a good question. Yeah. How that all went down?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. If you guys come up with anything, let me. But I met him. He's really nice. So I think folks out there are gonna like him. He's just a regular dude, who happened to be in. I don't want to say right or wrong place, but he happened to be in that situation and he responded and saved people, and his story is really inspiring. So I think it's going to be a cool conversation. And part of what I said, like, we're trying to get some, really awesome people to come on. We did have Black Rambo on last week that we did on YouTube, and that was fun and funny, and I got to find out some cool things about him and his background and stuff like that. And those other folks that are doing the MMA stuff, the K2S Combat, the MMA stuff. So I'm going to give, let's start with Patrick. Let him tell you how you guys can support him, follow him, see his stuff, maybe follow his baby adventures.
Oh, no, not yet. YouTube.com/babyfaceP. Instagram is baby_faceP. Instagram is where I've been most prolific right now, posting my dumb shittery. I just have not had the time nor the energy to get anything done gun-related. I spent the entirety of the weekend doing laundry, so that'll tell you where we're at right now. But there's stuff will happen. We'll get more stuff eventually.
No, that's good, man. That's a good productive thing. Got the laundry done.
Exhausting.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's like 6 or 8 loads of laundry. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Check this out. What Walter has right there.
Hey, I like that.
He's got his Babyface P magazine.
We got to make some more of those and sell them.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to do more cool things like that. Oh, okay, Walter, tell the folks out there, you're not going to be here for 2 weeks, but tell the folks, how they can follow you, maybe follow some of your adventures. I'm sure you're going to post
stuff. Safety Arbor Firearms on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and Utreon. Dirtfoot Racing, the same, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and Utreon. I'll probably be posting from the trip on probably Dirtfoot Racing, I think. I don't know if it... I don't know. We'll see. It depends. The train doesn't. They advertise they don't have Wi-Fi all the time on the train. So whenever I get when I'm land based back in the hotel and stuff, I'll probably post. Whenever I get a little bit of signal, I'll post. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. I hope you guys stay safe out there and have fun. And I'm definitely looking forward to see how it goes. And I'm jealous, man. I wish you would have brought your adopted. I'm too old to be your son, but I could be, like a younger cousin. You should, I would have liked to have gone along. Oh, that's why.
One time,
it's gonna be
we used
fun.
to have one of the boys who was in the Boy Scout troop. Peter Chang was obviously he was Asian, and one time I'm around Peggy's family, and I go, "Yeah, there's my Asian son," and they all go, "Wait a minute." Yeah, you didn't tell us about this.
That's what I was telling everyone at Alex's wedding. When your daughter got married,
Alexis,
people, Alexis, people were like, "Oh, so who are you?" And I was like, "I'm Walter's black son. You never heard about me?" And some of those people were believing that. So
okay.
I mean, I don't know how we're like maybe just 10 years apart. So. You would have had to been real freaky at a very young age, but some of them were like, this could possibly be true. But no, it's cool. That's awesome. I would love to do that one of these days. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys like it and what it's like, all that kind of stuff. All right. So that being said, who wants to do words of wisdom, and we're gonna get out of here?
I'll do it. I'll figure it out.
Okay, Patrick, come on.
Right now, you need it right now.
Well, let me say this. So, big thanks to everyone listening to us around the world. I'm going to tell you, we've been doing this podcast for a long time. Everyone's put a lot of work, a lot of energy into this. No one more than Lola, Walter, and Patrick. So, big thanks to everyone. We haven't hit 1,000 yet, but we're on that. We're working on that. But a shout out to the people around the world. Whenever I look and see all the different people around the world that are actually listening to our bullshit, It is amazing to me personally. And I'll tell you, we've had like 500,000 downloads of the audio side alone of the podcast. So that's actually pretty good. And I know when people download that, they listen to it in their cars, at work, and all kinds of stuff. So big shout out to all those people. And you can find it if you want to listen to it on iTunes, Audible, any place you can get your audio podcast from, including hankstrange.com. Okay, Babyface, go for it.
If anybody out there is listening and it's late in the evening, you don't have kids, your kids are already grown up, what I want you to do is I want you to change out, go get you a nice drink of water, and put your ass to sleep, and just enjoy the fact that you get to sleep through the entire night and don't have to wake up at all. Just enjoy it.
Poor, like, who was it? Gandhi didn't suffer as much as Patrick. Mother Teresa ain't got
starting to hit me. I got 2 days back to back of the baby and me, and Marley will be back Thursday and Friday after work, and I'm falling apart right now. I'm getting so tired.
This is good for you. This is a good moment. I'm proud to see you go through this.
Moving up in the world.
It's funny. It's funny, like, how you're taking it. You're like, oh my God, this is. I'm sure all of us probably were going through that as well when it happened. From this side, it looks easy.
Here's another one for people to live on. It will get better. Life will get better. Things will change. It'll be different, but it will get better.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks, everyone out there. Let me make sure I push these buttons properly right now and end this. Let's see.